Hello everyone, it is Arickamisha. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. And this particular subject that God led me to, it's time to let them go. It's time to let them go. And when I tell you, when God was talking to me and God was sharing with me about some things that I have been talking to him about. Let me read my notes. Spending time with God, he was telling me it's time to let some things go and people go. Procrastination, disobedience, so-called friends, family members, anything or anyone trying to separate me from God and my calling. Yeah, this was one of those moments where God was talking to me and ministering to me, and in my spending time with God, I was talking to God about some things, sharing things with God about some things that I had been dealing with, and God was talking to me about some things he wanted me to work on, some things he wanted me to let go. And God was telling me procrastination. Sometimes I do procrastinate in certain areas, and God was just talking to me and saying that he wants me to work on that. Because I may say it's procrastination, but God calls it disobedience. Because when God tells me to do something, sometimes I procrastinate and I'll put it off a day, or I'll put it, off a day or a couple days, and it's disobedience. So God was talking to me about that. God was saying that he wants me to work on let go of the procrastination. And also God was talking to me about, I was at this particular time, I was talking to God about, friendships and family members, just some things that I have been going through. And God was saying to me, and you guys know God isn't the author of confusion. God's not trying to make you hate somebody and all that stuff. God would never do that. But there comes a time in your life where God was speaking to me about some people that were in my life, and God was saying, let me just give you an example. Okay, me being a woman of God, living for God, I've committed my life to Christ, called by God, doing what God has called me to do. And let's say, for an example, I have a friend that isn't saved, haven't given their life to Christ, haven't committed to God or anything like that. They're still living their life, doing what they want to do, and, living in the flesh, clubbing, partying, doing whatever they want to do. And, what does night have to do with day? And you get what I mean? Like, here it is, I'm living for God, and they're doing what they want to do. They want to club, they want to do this, they want to do, live a sinful life, and I'm not. And that's the example I'm trying to get you to understand. Here it is, two people that aren't living the same life, aren't walking the same path, living for God. So of course that's your family member, you love them, but you do have to put space between you and them, because you don't do what they do. You're not living the life they live, and they're not living the life you live. Of course that's still family. You love them, of course, but you understand what I'm saying. And this is what God was talking to me about. And God was also talking to me about, I was talking to God about a friendship, and God was telling me that, yeah, you talk to this person, you guys know each other or whatever, and God said that this individual, God said they're not living for me. And God said, you are. God said, I understand you talk to them about me, you minister to them about me, but God said, you got to be careful, put space. You know what I mean? You don't want them tempting you to get back into nothing. You don't want them to, you know what I mean? And it's just what God was talking to me about. God was telling me, some people, you got to let them go. And I'm not saying like you're letting them go, never speak to them again, and you got a family member and never speak to them again. That's not what I'm saying. But God was just saying it's time to let some things go, let some people go. Put that space in between you and that individual. Let them go. Excuse me. And is what God was talking to me about. And God will do that. He will cause separation. He will do that. And it's what God was talking to me about. And I understood what God was saying. I understand exactly what he was saying. And we have to do that. We have to listen to God, And anytime God is causing separation, he's not causing separation, telling you to separate yourself from individuals and people just to cause confusion, because we all know God would never do that. But God knows what's best. And I'm sure we as God's children who live for God, I'm sure we have all experienced that, where God is saying, okay, it's time to put space between you and the individual. It's time to let them go. And like I said, the procrastination, and there's things that God wants us to let go as well. Bad habits, sinful ways. There's all kind of things that God was talking to me about letting it go. So when I say it's time to let them go, it could be bad habits, it could be people, it could be sinful ways, so many different things. However this applies to your life, God said it's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. And we know what it is in our lives that we need to let go. We know. And when God was talking to me about this, I knew exactly what God was talking about, and I was just praying to God, and I said, God, give me the strength. Give me the strength to let these things go that you're telling me to let go. Give me the strength. Because a lot of times, like I said, procrastination, we try to let things go, but we don't let them go. And when God tells us to separate ourselves from people, and we don't do it. So I was praying, asking God for strength to let things go, people go, whatever it is he wants me to let go. I was praying and saying to God, give me the strength to do what you're telling me to do. So that's what God wanted me to come and talk about today. And like I said, and like I tell you guys, I am here sharing my business, and I pray that it may help you with your business. So God wanted me to come and share that today, and I pray that what I shared today helps anyone. So thank you guys so much for watching, and God bless.